If life has thrown you a couple of curveballs, you may be in a position to look for a new living situation in the Twin Cities here in 2023, but you have no freaking clue what the market has in store for the year. I am sure you have seen article after article trying to portray a doom and gloom year ahead of us with major fears of a housing market crash. Well, I'm here to set the record straight and give you true local housing market information. No BS, no fear, just info. In this video, I will be covering your most asked questions concerning the market, such as where are home prices headed? What should we expect with mortgage interest rates? Will the inventory of homes increase? And finally, will we see a bubble burst? If we haven't met before, I'm Bailey Beckman, a local Twin Cities real estate expert and data nerd. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel to be the first to know about changes in our local market. Before we get into the weeds, I do want to throw a little disclaimer out here. Obviously, I cannot predict the future. If I could, I would be a billionaire. The predictions in this video are supported by local data, historical trends, and my active experience of practicing real estate in the Twin Cities region. Up first, let's chat about home prices and where they are projected to go in this next year. In 2022, we saw the median sales prices of homes grow to $351,400, which was an 8.2% increase over 2021. For the most part, this growth had to do with dramatically lower interest rates coming out of the pandemic. Prior to 2020, prices increased annually, just not as quick of a rate. Here you can see the median sales prices of homes dating back to 2005. The last time we saw prices decrease rather than increase was the 2008 housing market crash. But since 2012, those prices have continuously grown. With the current supply and demand relationship, I expect this upwards trend to continue, with prices increasing between 4 to 6% in the Twin Cities. To put that into perspective, that $351,400 house will cost you $17,570 more by the end of 2023, assuming a 5% increase prediction. Now, a big part of the reason why we do not expect homes to increase as much as 8% like last year is due to mortgage interest rates. In 2022, we saw the fastest growing interest rate that we have ever seen in history. Here you can see the interest rate trends since 2009 for a fixed 30-year loan. If we zoom in, February of 2022 is when we broke that 4% mark and then saw continuous increases through the rest of the year. Now, you might be wondering, why the heck did interest rates increase so quickly? The answer to that is inflation. The Federal Reserve intentionally increased rates to slow the markets on a national scale. Inflation rates and mortgage interest rates have a dance and balance. Inflation goes up, mortgage rates follow as well. Here you can see the balance between the CPI and rates. We are starting to see inflation cooling, and we should expect mortgage rates to follow. However, if you are sitting on the sidelines waiting for that 2.6% interest rate again, it isn't going to happen. Those historically low rates were set into motion to jumpstart the economy during the pandemic, and it worked. Now they are looking to hit a maintenance level, not a jumpstart. For 2023, rates are projected to hit closer to the 5% mark come this spring market. So we know that home prices are expected to increase, and we now know that interest rates should come down at least a little headed here into 2023. Now, another big piece of the puzzle that we need to discuss is the overall inventory. Because at the end of the day, the whole relationship with real estate revolves around supply and demand. Here you can see that the total homes for sale in the Twin Cities is historically low. I am expecting inventory to remain tight throughout this next year or two for two major reasons. One, new construction can't keep up with buyers and demand in the market. Here you can see new builds dipped in 2020 and are just slowly starting to recover now. Several new construction companies were unsure where the market was headed with the pandemic, and they were also faced with numerous supply chain issues. So they were having a more difficult time turning homes over quickly. Heck, the garage door backup order timeline was almost to 9 months. Two, a ton of homeowners were able to refinance to interest rates as low as 2.5%. Many are going to be willing to stay longer in a home that they likely would have sold simply because of the affordability and interest payments. Now we are finally getting to one of the most anticipated questions headed into the new year. Will we see a bubble burst? In short, the answer is no. Sorry to all the folks out there hoping for a steal of a deal on a house, But realistically, we do not want to see a burst because it completely wrecks the economy. There are several signifiers that show the current market is much stronger than it was leading into 2008, highlighting the fact that the current housing situation is in fact not a bubble. Buyers can actually afford the homes they are purchasing. Here you can see the number of loans that were given to buyers with less than a 620 credit score. Lending practices are much tighter than before the crash. Here you can also see the number of foreclosures in the Twin Cities since 2005. We could see an issue was on the horizon dating back to 2006. After that bubble popped, we have seen far fewer homeowners foreclosing on their homes. Additionally, short sales, where an owner has to sell the home for less than they bought it, is at historic lows. In December of 2022, only 19 of the 6,093 homes for sale were short sale, and 67 were foreclosures, making up less than 2% of the total inventory. Back in January 2009, 37% of the inventory was foreclosures and short sales. So there you have it. My predictions for the market are at least 4 to 6% increase in home prices, interest rates right around that 5% range headed into the spring market, and still very limited inventory, making it a seller's market even with higher rates. If you are looking for a deeper dive into a specific neighborhood, send me an email and I will be happy to show you the numbers. Thanks for watching.